Good evening, everybody. Let's do some yoga together. Please come to a good seated position on your mat. You can sit with your shins crossed, or you can open your legs out a little bit wider if your hips allow that. This is called Sukhasana. The more open position is called Siddhasana. Whichever works for you, it's totally fine. Sit in a way that's comfortable for you. If you would, take your fingertips in front of you, lift your hips off the mat. Really lean forward, send those hips back behind you a little bit wider. And then as you reseat them down, find the front edge of your groins. Good. Root that into the earth. Lift your torso. Excellent. Take your thighs in and down. Excellent. Fingertips next to your hips. You grow long through your side body. Grow long through the crown of your head. Even broaden your collarbones. Tone your belly and lengthen the very tip of your tailbone. Excellent. Tilt your chin down. Excellent. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Release your hands to your upper thighs, or you can bring them into prayer pose, Anjali Mudra, in front of your heart space. And begin by breathing in and out. And while you're breathing in and out today, I want to tell you a story about a raindrop. And for this little raindrop, her joy was in joining the river. And as this little raindrop had enough courage to release from the clouds, she fell many, many hundreds of miles down to the earth and dropped into my yard. And in my yard, that raindrop found the earth. And she wended her way down into the soil. And she snuck past my fence. She went into my neighbor's yard. And she snuck past my neighbor's fence. And she wiggled away all the way downhill to the stream that crosses in front of my yard and my neighbor's yard. And she followed that stream all the way down until it joined a bigger river, and followed the river until it joined an ocean. And the raindrop was joyful in knowing she was one with everything. Continue to breathe in and out, just noticing your breath. We're going to be talking today about the oneness of everything. Yoga means union. And for many of us, it's a bridge that kind of connects your inner wisdom with your words and your actions out into the world. So rather than just addressing the physical body, yoga suggests that we all have 5 layers. They're called koshas. And you can think of them as like the layers of an onion, or perhaps like a Russian nesting doll, where the layers are one on top of the other, only unlike an onion or a nesting doll, the layers are interconnected, they're interwoven. And what happens on one layer in the koshas affects all the other layers. They're called layers of yourself. The first layer, the first kosha you can think of as the outermost layer, it's your physical body. It's the bones or the muscles or the tissues, the things we move to help keep us healthy. Just underneath that layer, but connected to it, is the energy body. It's the things that animate your actions, the atoms, the cells, the organs, the things that we work to make that physical body move. And just below that layer is another layer. The third layer is called the mental body. That mental body is your thoughts, your emotions, your nervous system, maybe even your feelings. When you do yoga, it can calm the mind and soothe the nervous system. And just by coming to the mat and doing yoga, you are working on the first 3 koshas and starting to practice working through the first 3 layers of the body just by doing yoga. So you're working the physical body, you're working the energy body, and you're working the mental body. There are 2 other layers you can also work as you go deeper into kosha. One of those layers, the next layer, is what I call the wisdom body. It's your your intuition, your awareness, that deeper insight. Yoga, as you practice more and more, can quiet the outer layers of the body so that wisdom body can be heard and it can begin to help guide us. And as it begins to guide us, it helps us reach that fifth kosha, that fifth layer. We'll call it the bliss layer, that sense of the core of our highest self. It's the existence that is blissful or joyful. It's freedom, it's joyousness, no matter what your circumstances are. You may have experienced this kosha at certain times in your life. Perhaps if you've gazed deeply into the eyes of someone you've fallen in love with, that there might be an element of bliss with that. Or perhaps even holding your newborn for the first time. There's an element of bliss that touches on this fifth layer, this bliss body. All of the layers, all of the koshas are interconnected. They depend on each other. So if the body is tense or the mind is agitated, it's really going to be hard for you to find that wisdom and joy, those inner layers. But if you practice yoga, especially in your everyday life, you can help bring all of the koshas into harmony and bring yourself closer to your self realization of the fullness of your being. So as you continue to breathe in and out, become aware of your breath, breathing in and out. And as you breathe in and out, see if you can make your inhale the same length as your exhale, samavriti it's called, coming into balance with your breathing. Maybe breathing into a count of 4 and breathing out to a count of 4, whatever works for you. Take a few breaths. The inhale is the same length as the exhale. Just begin to notice how that makes your body feel. The interconnectedness of the breath with the rest of your body, with your mind. Perhaps even focusing on the breath and letting the mind take a break for a moment, letting it rest. Good, you're doing a great job. Continue to breathe in and out. You can let the samavriti breath go. Return to your normal free flowing breath. Just scan through your body for a few moments, noticing how you feel. Noticing places where your body has a need to move, places where your body maybe feels really good today. So not to judge, it's just to notice. It's just to be a detective. And when you're finished with that, if your hands are not already connected in front of your heart space, please connect your hands in front of your heart space. Draw your attention to your intention for this class. If you don't have an intention, that's fine. But if you'd like to set an intention, maybe do so. Be careful what you wish for. And then when you're ready, press your hands together to seal that intention. Excellent. Release your hands. Very good. You can go ahead and lean on back, take your legs out in front of you, wiggle your feet back and forth. I will be mirroring you for class today. So when I say move your right hand, I'll be moving my left hand and etc. I just want to make sure you know that. So when you're ready, we're going to start with the foot massage. Bring your right foot over top of your left thigh and start rubbing through the sole of that foot, making it feel good. Maybe twisting and pulling each toe. Excellent. Coming to the big toe mound, the little toe mound of the foot, spreading the top of the foot apart. Give it a good wiggle. Excellent. Release that out. Clap the foot out. And then give it a good paddle. Make a fist. And compassionately tap the sole of your foot, activating the parasympathetic nervous system, just waking up that foot. Excellent. Grab a hold of the top of the foot, stretch it towards the back of the room. If you tend to sickle your foot, see if you can bring it in line with that shin. There you go. Flex the foot going the other way. Again, if you have a tendency to sickle, just notice your habits. Maybe bring that big little toe mound back, just like you bring the big toe mound back. Good. Release that out. Rub through the sole of the foot again. Interlace your fingers in between the toes. Circle the ankle. Excellent. Circle in the other direction. Come to the center. Come to a place of stillness. Spread the fingers, spread the toes. Release that hand. Grab a hold of the ankle. Shake it out. Grab a hold of the outer edge of the foot. Hug the shin in. Start to wake that hip up. There we go. Release that foot down. Bring the top of the femur back into the hip socket. Switch sides. Rubbing through the sole of the left foot. Just noticing it may feel different. There may be spots on the left foot that are a little more tender than the right foot. It's not to judge, it's just to notice. Maybe twist and pull each toe. Excellent. Grab a hold of the big toe mound, little toe mound. Spread the foot apart. Give it a good wiggle. Release that. Clap the foot. Give it a good paddle. Make a fist. Gently tap the sole of the foot. Good. You're doing a great job. Grab a hold of the top of the foot. Stretch the top of the foot. Making sure you're not sickling the foot. Flexing it. Noticing even here if you sickle the foot in a flex. Release that out. Rub through the sole of the foot again. Maybe interlace your fingers in between the toes. Circle the ankle. It's okay if you can't get your fingers in between the toes. You just grab a hold of the tops of the toes. But maybe you can start working towards abduction of the feet. Really good for your feet and the foot muscles. Circle in the other direction if you haven't already done so. Come on back to the center. Wiggle that foot out. See if you can spread the fingers and the toes. Keep those toes spread as you release the fingers. Good. Grab a hold of the ankle. Shake the foot out. Excellent. Grab a hold of the outer edge of the foot. Hug the shin in and open that hip out. Wiggling back and forth. Release that foot down in front of you. Top of the hip goes back into the hip socket. Good. Top of the femur. Wiggle those feet back and forth. Maybe even bend the knees, soles of the feet on the floor. Take a little bit of a windshield wiper. Moving your knees back and forth. Maybe go slow. And notice which direction of the windshield wiper feels better for you. Getting that sense of mindfulness. And then when you're ready, if you would turn around on your mat, you can put a blanket out for your knees. And if you would, go ahead and take a child's pose. You could spread your knees apart, big toes together. Toenails are on the floor. Send your hips back towards the heels. Slide on down and relax. Forearms or your hands stacked one on top of the other. Place your forehead on top of those forearms. Take a couple breaths in and out. Just beginning to open up the lower spine. If this is too much on your knees, you can always put a rolled up blanket behind your knees. You can maybe even put a bolster underneath of you. Couple more breaths in and out. Then when you're ready, extend your arms forward. Lift your upper arms. Your ears are in line with your upper arms, so your forehead is not resting on the mat. Claw that mat, kind of like you're palming a beach ball or a tennis ball. So really claw the mat, bringing your base of your knuckles in contact with the mat, especially the base of the index finger and the thumb. Take a couple deep breaths in and out, just noticing the muscle energy that you're using. We talked about the energy body, this muscle energy. Then when you're ready, if you would, Walk your hands over to the right side of the body. Keep that left hip rooted down. Couple deep breaths in and out. If you'd like, you can take that left palm over the right hand. Do a deeper stretch out of the left side of the body. Breathing in and out. You come on back to center. Take your extended child's pose again. Breathing in and out. And then when you're ready, switch sides, walking your hands over to the left side of the mat. Good, you're doing a great job. Your upper arms are framing your ears. You're breathing in and out. That right hip is reaching back towards the back of the mat. It hasn't popped up and come along with you. You can take that right palm over top of the left palm if you like for a deeper stretch. Couple deep breaths in and out. Come on back to center. Come into that extended child's pose one more time. And we're going to repeat that one more time. Walking your fingertips first to the right. Noticing if you've opened up a little bit, toning your belly, lengthening the tip of your tailbone. Allowing yourself to get a deeper stretch this time if that feels good for you. Coming back to center, taking your time. Lifting those upper arm bones, hollowing out the armpits. 2 deep breaths, and then walking your hands to the other side. Seeing if you can get a deeper stretch, if you started to open up. And then when you're ready, please walk your hands back to the center. Again, lift those armpits. Take 2 deep breaths in and out. And then please come to all fours. Tuck your toes under in the back for your table position, neutral position of the spine. If your tendency is to have a short table position, please walk your hands forward over your shoulders. There you go. And maybe even walk your fingertips so they're as wide as your sticky mat. Make your wrist creases match the front edge of your mat. Good. Release your heart space. Draw your shoulders together. And we'll begin doing a cat-cow pose. Going at your own pace. Go slow as it feels good for you. As you inhale, you release the belly down to the mat. Lift the tailbone and the collarbones. Head follows along. Exhale. You take a cat pose, reversing the position of the spine. Do that a few times at your own pace. Really make it feel good for you. Really notice the movements of your spine. Seeing if you can find those spaces in your spine where you need a little more room, a little more length. And giving yourself permission to take the time to find that length in the spine. When you're ready, please come on back to the center, finding your normal table pose. Excellent. You can come on to your kneeling position. Excellent. Make sure you have a couple of blocks at the front of your mat. And when you're ready, again, reminding you that I am mirroring you, please bring your right leg in between the blocks. Your left leg is behind you, the knee is down, but lift that left knee and wiggle it back a little bit farther than normal. Excellent. Toes are tucked under in the back on that left leg. Inhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, feel like you're drawing those blocks back towards your hips as you hinge forward into a runner's lunge. Breathing in and out. Just letting the body open up. If your belly tends to release down, maybe tone the belly, drawing the belly button towards the back of the spine. Breathing in and out. Excellent. Now, when you're ready, please take your hands to that upper thigh, lift the torso, inhale, lengthen, exhale, scoop and lunge. Bring your palms together in front of your heart space. Excellent. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, can you take that left chest wall towards the right knee, towards the right side of the body. Torso is lifted. Breathe in and out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take that left elbow to the outside of that right knee for a twist. Couple deep breaths in and out. Back of the skull is back of the neck is long. When you're ready, please come on back to center, coming into that lunge pose. Excellent. Inhaling, bringing the torso forward. Exhale, shift your hips back, straighten that front knee for a pyramid pose, a stretch with the knee down. You can dorsiflex that front foot to get a deeper stretch, or you can keep the sole of the foot on the floor. Yogi's choice. Noticing what works for you, just starting to get a stretch out of the front of that leg. If you sickle the foot here, please notice that. Please work that big toe mound and the little toe mound equally. Maybe spread the toes. If you're starting to round the upper spine, maybe use blocks. Maybe widen the blocks or draw them closer towards your hips. Take another deep breath in and out. When you're ready, if that foot is dorsiflexed, release the sole of the foot down. Come back to your runner stretch. Excellent. Bring those blocks forward. Please switch sides. So that front leg goes back leg comes forward in between the blocks. You take your time to set yourself up. You make sure your feet are as wide as your hips. Toes tucked under the back. Little toe is in contact with the mat, just like the big toe. Inhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, scoop and lunge. Bring your torso forward, shoulder blades draw together on your back. Back of the skull is back of the neck is long, it's collapsed forward. You're keeping the head in line with the spine. Take a couple deep breaths in and out. When you're ready, take your hands to the upper thigh, lift the torso. Good. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, scoop and lunge. Breathing in and out. Breathe those hands wide. Palms come together in front of your heart space. Widen your collarbones. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. As you begin to twist, take the right chest wall towards the left side of the body. Good. There it is. And then when you're ready, take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Press those palms together. Collarbones wide. Smile. Excellent. Take a couple deep breaths in and out. Back of the skull is back of the neck is long. Good. Then when you're ready, unwind the twist, fingertips lightly on the blocks. Coming back to the runner's lunge. Now, press that front foot into the mat, straighten that front knee. Excellent. Good. You can draw those blocks back towards your hips if you'd like. You can even dorsiflex that front foot if you'd like, as long as you're not rounding that upper spine. So you're drawing the blocks back towards your hips and broadening your collarbones. There it is. Good. Breathing in and out. Just letting your body open out. Letting go of tension. Letting go of judgment. Just noticing, maybe even coming to the breath. Calming the mind with your breathing. Excellent. Now when you're ready, bring that front foot, if you have a dorsiflex, back onto the mat. Please come back into your lunge position. Draw your blocks forward again. Beautiful. Then when you're ready, you can bring that front foot back to meet the back foot. You can take those blocks to the front of your mat. Please come to a standing position. You can remove that blanket from your mat, but have it nearby. We may want that for a few of our positions. Please come to the front of your mat into Tadasana Mountain Pose, standing position. Take a look down at your feet. Make sure they're parallel to one another. Inner edges of your feet are matching one another. They're making a number 11. Lift and spread your toes. Excellent. Draw muscle energy up through the legs. So don't just stand there with your legs like lumps. Use that muscle energy, drawing energy all the way from the soles of the feet up through the quads, the thighs, the hips, but don't lock those knees. Micro bend in the knees. You're using muscle energy, not the bones. You're not locking the knees. Good. Send your hips back towards the back of the room. Good. Tone your belly. Now lengthen your tailbone. Shoulders up, back, and broaden. Palms face forward. Tadasana mountain pose. Take a couple deep breaths in and out here. Just noticing how you feel. Inhale the arms overhead. Take a look up if you'd like. Exhale, hinge forward at the hip creases, arms coming out to the side into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Take 3 pranams, hands to your shins, lifting your torso. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press the shins into the hands, hands into the shins, long spine. Exhale, fold again. Inhale one more time into pranam. Breathe in and out. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Notice whether your weight is back in your heels. See if you can shift your weight forward so it's even over the big toe mound, little toe mound, inner and outer heels of your foot. Breathing in and out. Micro bend those knees. You're doing an excellent job. When you're ready, please plant those hands. Step your right leg back, left leg back into downward facing dog. Spread your feet wide, maybe as wide as your hips. And if you're used to having a short dog, take a long dog. So walk your hands forward. Yeah, there you go. Fingertips as wide as the sticky mat. Bend your knees, send your hips back towards the back of the room with your knees bent. Your heart is reaching towards your knees. If your knees are collapsed in, make sure your knees are reaching out over the center of each foot. Breathe in and out. And as you start to open up, see if you can straighten those knees in downward facing dog. Tone the belly. Lengthen the tailbone. Excellent. You're doing a great job. Lift that right leg off the mat, bend the knee, bring it forward in between the blocks or your hands for a lunge position. Your back knee can be up or down. If the knee is up, take the slack out of that back leg. So the knee isn't bent, you're reaching fully through that back leg. You can test your fingers to make sure your fingertips are light on the blocks. Couple deep breaths in and out, torso is forward. You're in a lunge pose. Just letting the body open up. When you're ready, hands to the upper thighs, lift the torso, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, scoop and lunge, reaching through that back leg. Excellent. Reach those arms wide, broadening the collarbones. Bring your hands together in front of your heart space, tone your belly, lengthen your tailbone. Breathe. We're going to go for the twist now. So you're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take that left chest wall towards the right side of the body. You can release that elbow down to the outside of that knee. Breathe in and out. Avoiding collapsing the head and the torso, using your muscle energy. Collarbones are lifted and broadened. Couple deep breaths in and out. You're doing an excellent job. Untwist the pose, fingertips to the blocks in front of you. Breathe in and out. Excellent. If your knee is up, I'd like to put your knee down on the mat. You could put a blanket down. Just pad that knee. You walk the knee back a little bit. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, scoop and lunge. Fingertips are on the blocks or they're on the mat. If they're on the blocks, totally fine. Yogi's choice. You can decide whether they're on their highest height, their second highest height, or the lowest height. We're going to go for a twisted monkey pose here. So inhale, Keep your left hand where it is. Take your right hand to your upper thigh. Lift your torso. Excellent. Good. Can you lift that back foot off the ground? The knee is on the ground. The foot is lifting. It's dorsiflexed. Good. Inhale, lift the torso again. Reach that right arm forward. Sweep it up over your ear. Reach it behind you and take it in the direction of that back ankle. If you can bend the knee and grab hold of the foot of the ankle, do that. Open up the collarbones. Now press the hand into the foot into the hand. Open your collarbones for the twist, twisted monkey. Breathing in and out. My advanced yogis may wish to come down on their elbow, on their forearm for a deeper twist. Yogi's choice. Back of the skull is back of the neck is long. When you're ready, gently, gently release that foot. Bring it back down to the mat. Come on back to the center. Excellent. You're doing a great job. Lift that back knee off the mat. Remove those blocks. Please step back into downward facing dog. Woo. Walk your hands back towards your hips. Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Please allow yourself to open out. Micro bend in the knees, tone the belly. Hands to your hip creases, shoulders up, back and broaden. Root to rise. Please come to the front of your mat. We'll do the other side. Keeping that blanket nearby as you need it. Blocks in the front of your mat. Coming into Tadasana Mountain Pose. You're doing a great job. Inhaling and exhaling, finding your Tadasana, not getting too far ahead of yourself in the sequence. Allowing your mind to be calm, your breath calm, maybe even your nervous system calm. Two more breaths, then open your eyes. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, hinge forward at the hip creases, shoulders up and back. 3 pranams. Lengthening the spine, then folding. Lengthening again, and folding. Breathing, lengthening, and folding. Good. Finding your Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Finding balance between the front of the feet and the back of the feet, the inner and the outer heels. Breathing in and out. When you're ready, fingertips to the blocks or to the mat. Step the opposite leg back. So your left leg is stepping back. You're in a left leg lunge now. Front leg is forward. Fingertips are wide. You bring the torso forward. You're light on those blocks. Take the slack out of that back leg. Breathe in and out. If that right hip is popping out, please square it off. Squeeze it in line. So you're squeezing everything in towards the midline, using that muscle energy. Breathing in and out. Oh, I think I did the other leg. I did the wrong leg. So I'm going to shift sides. Sorry. Whichever leg was forward last time should be back this time. Excellent. Squeeze those hips in towards the midline. Hands to the upper thigh. Lift the torso. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, scoop and lunge. Arms come wide. Your palms come together. Tone the belly. Lengthen the tailbone. Take that right chest wall to the left side of the mat. Lean forward. Elbow goes to the outside of that left knee. Grow long through that back leg. Using the baby toe side of the foot, just like you use the big toe side of the foot. Back of the skull is back of the neck is long. You're breathing for your twist. Excellent. Untwist the pose, fingertips to the blocks. Slide that blanket into place. Release your knee down if it's been up. Excellent. We're going to move into twisted monkey. So you maybe take a little more space for that back leg. Move the back foot and back knee back a little bit farther. Hands to the upper thighs, lift the torso. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, scoop and lunge. Right hand comes onto the block. Good. Take that left hand forward. Sweep it up and overhead like a clock. Excellent. Can you lift that back foot off the mat in line with the right hand? Reach around, grab a hold of the foot or the ankle. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, scoop and lunge for twisted monkey. There it is. Good. Couple deep breaths in and out. It's okay if your fingertip and your foot don't reach. Just have the intention of them reaching one another. If you'd like and you're an advanced yogi, you can maybe lower the block, or you can even come down onto your forearm. Oh, they're not going to work on this side for me today. So breathe in and out. Come on back to the center. Good. Release it out. Coming back to your lunge position, lifting that back knee off the mat, planting those hands on the mat. Step back into downward facing dog. You can remove your blanket. Walk your hands back towards your feet into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Inhale, hands to the hip creases, shoulders up, back, and broaden. Root to rise, coming to standing position. Please walk to the front of your mat. Moving on. We're going to be moving into a sequence that uses side angle pose. And we're going to use triangle pose. And then we're going to move into an evolved triangle pose. So I just want to give you an idea of where we're going with this particular sequence. I'll talk you through it. That's just part of the sequence. But I wanted to get you an idea of what we're going to be doing with this particular sequence. Meanwhile, come to Tadasana Mountain Pose. Calm your thoughts. Calm your breathing. Just noticing your breath, your body, how you feel. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale them wide. Reach them wide. Keep them reaching wide. As you hinge forward at your hip creases into Uttanasana, standing forward bend, 3 pranams. When you're ready, please step your right leg back into a right leg lunge. Excellent. Spin that back heel down to the mat. Take energy to the outer edge of that back foot. Inhale, lift your torso into Warrior One. Arms overhead, shoulders away from the ears. Breathe in and out. Excellent. Take your hands wide. Fingertips to your hip creases, shoulders up and back. Take your left chest wall in the direction of the right side of the room. Bend your torso towards the front knee. Take your front elbow onto that front knee. Front palm is facing the front of the room. That lower chest wall is opening up. You're opening the collarbones. Sweep that back arm overhead for Utthita Parshvottanasana, side angle pose. Breathe. I know you're watching my back side. Take that top arm to the ceiling. Palm is facing the back of the room. Good. The bottom arm reaches down to the floor. Press that front foot into the floor to straighten the front knee into triangle pose. Excellent. Couple deep breaths in and out. That top hand reaches to your hip crease. You turn your torso to look at the blocks in front of you. Look at your front foot. Big toe mound of your front foot, grab a hold of your blocks. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, scoop and lunge. Keep your right hand on the block. Lift that back heel off the mat. Excellent. Draw energy through that back heel. Left hand comes to your hip crease, shoulder up, back, and broaden. Now, can you reach that right chest wall in the direction of the left side of the room? Excellent. Sweep that top arm overhead. Revolve triangle. There you go. Breathing in and out. When you're ready, come on back to the center. Both hands on the block. Spin that back heel down again. Left hand stays on the block. Right hand comes to your hip crease. As you open that top arm for triangle pose again. Bend the front knee. Elbow to that front knee. Reach the arm towards the place where the ceiling and the wall meet for side angle pose. Excellent. How are you doing? I can't see you. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. When you're ready, please come back to your lunge pose. Lift that back heel. Excellent. Remove the blocks. Step back into downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Hands to your hip creases, root to rise into Tadasana. Shoulders up, back, and broaden. Let's do the other side. Hopefully I'll get it right this time. Walking to the front of your mat, Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale the hands wide. Keep the hands wide. Shoulder blades broaden as you hinge at the hip creases. Uttanasana. Standing forward bend, 3 pranams. Going at your own pace. This time you're going to step your opposite leg back. There we go. Excellent. So your left leg is stepping back this time. If we did it right, find your lunge pose, not being in a hurry. Breathing in and out, light on your fingertips, lots of energy through that back leg. Tone the belly. Spin that back heel down to the mat. Outer edge of the foot is active. Inhale, lift the torso. Please come into warrior one. Arms overhead, shoulders away from the ears. Your gaze is forward. Open your torso out. Good. Take that top arm. Take the the right arm, elbow to the front thigh. Palm is facing the ceiling. The back arm is on your hip crease. Shoulder up, back, and broaden. Tone your belly. Lengthen your tailbone. Sweep that top arm overhead. Energy reaching out through that top arm. Good. For side angle pose, Utthita Parshvottanasana. Float that top arm to the ceiling. Palm is facing the front of the room. The bottom arm floats down to the floor as you straighten that front leg for triangle pose. Reach that lower chest wall out towards the front of the room. Back of the skull is back, back of the neck is long. Breathe. Good. Sweep that top hand back to your hip crease. Turn your gaze to look at your front toe, fingertips to the blocks. Keep that front knee straight. Lift the back heel. Good. Both knees are straight. This time you're going to keep the left hand on the block, right hand to your hip crease. Open your left chest wall towards the right side of the room. Float that right arm overhead for a revolve triangle. Excellent. Couple deep breaths in and out. Come on back to the center. Spin that heel down. Coming back to triangle pose. Right hand is on the block, the left hand lifted. Bend the knee. Elbow to that upper thigh. Arm reaches overhead for Utthita Parshvottanasana. Breathing in and out. Spin both hands down to the block. Lift that back heel for a lunge position. Remove the blocks. Plant your hands, step the front leg back to meet the back leg into downward facing dog. Find your dog pose. Using your second favorite hand, please start walking your hands back towards your hips into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. And bend those knees a whole bunch. Hands to your hip creases, shoulders up, back, and broaden. Lift from the heart space, coming up to a standing position. Breathing in and out. Excellent, you're doing a great job. We're going to go ahead and come to the center of your mat now. We're going to do a little bit of a balanced pose with eagle position. We're going to start with eagle arms, then we'll do eagle legs, then we'll add them both together if you'd like, and maybe even move into nested eagle. So if you would, have 2 blocks at either side of your ankles. Step in between them. Good. Come into Tadasana mountain pose. You know the pose already. Close your eyes, calm your mind, calm your breathing. Good. Open your eyes, reach your arms wide. Good. Bring them in front of you. Draw your shoulder blades together behind you. Turn the palms up. Good. Take your right elbow inside the left elbow. Again, I'm mirroring you. Right elbow inside the left elbow. Bend your palms so they reach towards your face. Good. Can you turn the palms so the palms are facing away from one another? Maybe even reach your hands around now. So palms come palm to palm. So you have a little bit of a twist for eagle arms. If your elbows are lax, use some energy to lift those elbows. Good. Eagle arms. Unfurl them. Come all the way back out. Hands wide, fingertips wide. Good. Reach the palms in front of you again. Draw the shoulder blades together. Turn the palms up. This time your left elbow comes to the eye of the right elbow. Bend your arms. Good. Palms toward your face. Now, can you turn your palms away from one another? Backs of the hands are together. You can reach those fingertips around for a little bit of a twist. Then lift your elbows. Breathe in and out. Eagle arms. Unfurl the pose, reaching your arms wide, fingers wide, energy shooting out through all 5 fingers. Release that down, shake it out. Grab a hold of your blocks, take them to the second lowest height, and make sure that they are on the outer edge of your ankles. Good. There you go. Now, draw your energy into your left leg. Yes, I'm mirroring you. Come up on the toes of your right foot. Bend your left knee. Make sure the knee isn't collapsing in. It's going towards the center of the foot. Can you cross that right foot over top of the left foot and bring the toes on top of the block? Sit down, squeeze those inner thighs together. Eagle legs. There you go. If you'd like to go deeper, you can kick the block away, or you can hook the toes around behind the shins. But whichever way you choose, it's still eagle legs. Working a little bit on your balance. Breathing. When you're ready, straighten both knees. Come on back to center. Re-straighten your blocks out. Let's try the other side. Hands to your hip creases, shoulders up, back, and broaden. Tone your belly. Lengthen your tailbone. Good. Draw energy into your right leg. Micro bend the right knee. Bend the left knee. Excellent. Now, can you bend the right knee, lift the left leg, and cross it over top of the right knee to come in contact with the block? Sit a little more fully. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Eagle legs. You can go deeper or you can stay here. Just noticing how your ego feels. 2 more breaths. Come on back to center. Can we add it together? We're going to start with the legs. So you're going to come into your left leg, then the toes of the right foot, bend that left knee. Make sure it's not collapsing in or collapsing out to the side. It's going to the center of the foot. Cross that right foot over top of the left foot, comes in contact with the block. You sit down, squeeze the legs together. Take your arms wide. Good. Whichever leg is on top is going to be the arm that's on top. So bring your arms forward, draw the shoulder blades together. Take a look down. Eye of the elbow. Elbow to the eye of the elbow. You bend your elbows. Turn the palms. Shimmy them together. Inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, sit down. Eagle pose. If you'd like to nest your eagle, you send your hips back towards the back of the room and you start bringing your elbows forward. They're still lifting for a nested eagle. Couple deep breaths. Come on back to the center. Unfurl the arms. Unfurl the legs. Shake it out. Tadasana mountain pose. Find your calm. Find your center. Letting your heart rate come back to normal. Releasing your jaw. Releasing your judgment. Open your eyes. Eagle or nested eagle, side 2. So you shift your weight just a little bit into that right leg. Toes of the left foot come up onto the mat. The left knee bends. Right knee bends. It's in line with the center of the foot. You cross that left foot over top of the right foot. You come to the block. Sit down a little bit further. Squeeze those thighs together. Reach your arms wide. Take a look down at your leg. Whichever leg is on top, that arm is going to be on top as you bring the arms forward. Elbow to eye of elbow. Bend the elbows. Backs of the palms together. You can bring both palms together in a twist. Lift the elbows. Good. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, sit a little bit deeper. You can stay here or you can begin to shift the torso forward, shifting at the hip creases, not rounding the spine for nested eagle. Couple deep breaths in and out. And you come on back to center. Unfurl your eagle, let it fly. Release that leg. Come back to standing position, Tadasana mountain pose. Breathe in and out. Bring your energy back to the room, coming back grounded. Like the raindrop falling from so high in the sky. Bring yourself down to earth and land. Open your eyes. And just like that raindrop, get a little closer to the earth. Come to a good seated position. Sit well. Excellent. We're not quite finished yet. We're going to be doing a couple twisted poses. I'm facing you, but you can face the front of your mat. I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing. You can sit up on a blanket if you'd like. If that feels better on your hips, feel free to sit on your blanket. Your knees are bent, soles of the feet on the floor. Grab your hands to the shins. Lift the heart space, tone your belly, lengthen your tailbone. Shake your head back and forth. Excellent. Can you take that left left ankle in the direction of your, right ankle in the direction of your left hip. Good. Open that right knee out. Now, lift up through the collarbones. Your left fingertips come behind you. That left leg crosses over top of the right knee. I'm having trouble mirroring you today. Inhale, lift the collarbones. Press that hand into the outer edge of the knee. As you take that front chest wall towards the side of the room for Matsyendrasana, a twist pose. Breathing in and out. Come on back to the center. Now take the right hand behind you, left hand to the front shin for a counter twist. Good. Unfurl that, lean back, both feet forward. Take a little bit of a windshield wipe. Be gentle with yourself, then come on back to center. Switch sides. So this time my left leg is coming to the right hip. I'm opening up first. I'm not in a hurry to cross that foot over the knee. I'm lifting the collarbones and the heart space, rooting through both feet, both sitting bones. Keep them both rooted down. You can stay here. You can cross that right leg over top of the left knee, but make sure that hip doesn't come ungrounded. Like the raindrops, stay on the ground. Inhale, fingertips behind you, lift the collarbones. Keep that right hand where it is, the left hand comes to the outer edge of the right knee for a twist. Taking that left chest wall in the direction of the right side of the room. Come on back to center, lift the collarbones again. Switch sides for the counter twist. Good. Fingertips behind you, lean on back, uncross your legs again. We're going to move into Gomukhasana legs. It's cow face legs. So it's a little bit like Matsyendrasana with a little bit of a variation. Good. So fingertips behind you. Lift your collarbones in your heart space. Good. You're going to take your right ankle towards the left hip. Right ankle towards the left hip. Open the knee out. Knee is facing the center of the room. Fingertips stay where they are. You can walk that left foot over to the right side of the room, cross it over the knee. Now can you take thigh to thigh, flex both of your feet, lift your collarbones and your heart space. Good. Can you walk your fingertips closer to your hips? Good. Can you walk your fingertips to your feet? Breathe. Feet are flexed. Thigh to thigh. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Bring your collarbones forward. Your torso starts to lean forward. You can take your fingertips beside you. For a little bit of a stretch in your hips. Breathe in and out. Gomukhasana. Come on back to the center. Gently lean back. Uncross both legs. Take a windshield wiper. Noticing that inner rotation may feel pretty good. Be gentle with yourself. Then we're going to switch sides so that opposite heel comes to the opposite hip. Knee is facing forward. Good. You cross that front leg over top of the front knee. Breathe. And then you begin to walk that foot towards the side of the room, bringing thigh to thigh. Lift your collarbones, walk your fingertips closer to your hips. Your torso is closer vertical. both hips on the ground. I know. So we finished Gomukhasana. We're going to move to the floor. Excellent. If you would please go ahead and come to a supine position on your mat. Shoulder blades on the mat, shimmy them under your heart space. Good. Draw your knees in towards your heart space. Wiggle your hips back and forth. Release that soles of the feet on the floor. Excellent. Cross your right ankle over top of your left knee. Draw your left knee in towards your chest. Interlace your hands behind that knee. Open it out. Breathe. Release that foot down. Keep the legs crossed, but both knees over towards your right. Inhale back to center. Uncross the legs. Switch sides. Left ankle crosses over the top of the right knee. Draw that right knee in towards the chest wall. You could even use your left elbow to open out the left knee. Breathing in and out. Release that foot down to the mat. Take both knees over to the left side. Both shoulder blades stay on the mat. Come back to center. Uncross the legs. Both knees in towards your chest. Take your knees wide. Draw them towards your armpits. Bring the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. If you'd like to slide your arms in between your legs for happy baby, you can feel free to do that. Wiggle back and forth. Good. Release your feet down. Excellent. Slide your legs forward and get yourself ready for Shavasana. Shoulder blades shimmy under your heart space. Your palms face the ceiling, slightly away from your hips. Let everything go. And as you lay in Shavasana, draw your attention to your breath. Trying to change it, just notice your breath. And notice your outer body, your physical body, the bones, the muscles, the tissues, things we've moved during this class to keep them healthy. Just noticing that outer layer you worked. And just under that layer, the energy layer that we can activate just by breathing. Use your breath. If you notice a space in your outer body that's feeling tense still, send breath to that space using your energy body. Maybe even shift your thoughts, your emotions to that space in your body that's feeling tense. Let your thoughts calm your body, calm the mind. And while you're here, please begin to scan through your practice today. In your mind's eye, see yourself on the mat. And in your mind's eye, notice the things you did on the mat today that served you. Maybe notice the things you did that didn't serve you so well. And in this way, we begin to use our wisdom and our mindfulness. And if we can begin to notice the things that serve us and shift our attention and our energies towards those things that serve us and away from the things that no longer serve us, we can begin to move into the bliss body. 5 Koshas. You can stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. Not being in a hurry, allowing yourself to rest as you need it. When it feels good for you, begin to draw energy back into your body, wiggling your fingers, your toes, your wrists, your ankles, moving in a way that feels good for you. Reach your arms overhead, take a full body stretch, then bend your knees and roll to one side. Remain there on your side for a few moments. Look into your beautiful heart space. Thank yourself for unrolling your mat and doing a yoga practice today, working on the interconnectedness of the 5 layers of the body. And when it feels good to you, draw your knees even closer to your heart space. Continue rolling to your side. Use the strength of your hands to come back to a seated position. Sit well in Sukhasana or Siddhasana, as we did at the beginning of class. Growing long through the side body, shoulders up, back, and broaden. Tone your belly, lengthen your tailbone. Bring your hands together into prayer pose, Anjali Mudra in front of your heart space. Take a deep breath in. And exhale that. Inhale in again. Exhale that. This week as you take your practice off the mat and out into the world, meditate on the oneness of things. Just as a raindrop fell from the sky and sought its joy in joining itself to the river, there is a oneness of many things that we do. This week, like the spring brook, maybe notice the very air that you breathe, the way it continues out of you, and regardless of the fences you set up, permeates the air around you. Air moves beyond those barriers into your neighbor's yard, and even through your neighbor's fences and out into the world, moving to the world despite everything we put in the way. We are indeed all one. Inhale, corners of your mouth up to the sky. Exhale, open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for coming to yoga today.